There is a quote from this book that drop kicked me in the face when I read it the first time, and when I'm reading it now again, I'm like, eh. And in this video, I just want to share with you why I love this quote from this book. And it's literally the first part of this book. Just going to go to the page now. Look, literally, it's literally on this page, right? It says here, be like a postage stamp. Stick to one thing until you get there. By Josh Billings, right? Why does that land for me so much right now? The reason is because when I look back and I backtrack my undiagnosed ADHD version of me, right? Just going through life, just very impulsive, overthinking, procrastination, a bunch of stuff happening there. I definitely don't regret the way I was navigating, because it just gives me more perspective now, and it makes it easier for me to be, say, more intentional with my time now, and it drives home the idea, right? And it makes it easy for me to now support anyone who's going through that similar chaos that I was going through before, right? What I've noticed is that there was a side of me that got really, really excited about a new idea, right? Something new has come on the plate, something new's been presented, or opportunity's been presented, and it sounds extremely exciting, right? The possibility of it all, right? But that is stimulating for us, right? So we want that all the time. And because we want that all the time, what ends up happening is we end up overcommitting. Because what we saw as extremely stimulating last week, a new discovery or something like that we're really excited about, and we start diving into that, it starts to simmer down a little bit, because it gets to that stage where it's just like, oh, okay, well, this is not as exciting as it was, but it's still exciting, but it's not as exciting as it was, right? And then something else comes in and tries to take its place for excitement, right? But what that is it's our seeking of dopamine or stimulation that drives those decisions that we make around these ideas that we have, right? And it's our environment that is showing us or giving us those ideas in the first place, right? So I was speaking to someone the other day, and they were telling me that they were on meds, but they noticed that when they were on meds, their mind calmed completely, and all those creative ideas that she used to bring up and in her head and be quite like just creative, ambitious and curious, and just that whole process of visualization, all that stuff that's happening, or romanticizing, right, was gone. And she said that she kind of missed that, and that's why she doesn't want to do meds, right? And I was like, wow, that's really interesting take that you got there. I feel very similar to her, but obviously I'm not taking meds, but that process that I just mentioned to you, I don't want that to leave me either. But all I want to be able to do is just be able to control that part better, and control it within the container of, and this is, I guess, an analogy again, right? So like the postage stamp thing is like, there's the package in the container, and we're just gonna just contain that idea and see it through to the end of the journey, right? No stop-offs, no going diverting different ways and all this stuff. Like this is where it's supposed to go, and until it gets there, we're just gonna follow the route, right? And look, even though I've gone on a bit of a tangent, what I'm trying to say here is that it's easy for us to want to be stimulated through the idea, because of the way that we spark the idea, that stimulation there we love, right? But we need to notice that is just because of how it stimulated us. It's not because we should do all those ideas together. It's because it just simply stimulated us, and we chose that impulsive spend. Like, we purchased that thing because it just felt good in that moment. It excited us doing the spend, but it didn't mean we had to do the spend, right? So I'm saying this because my whole mission is to grow ADHD, right? And what I've noticed is that for the past year, I have been doing that. and I've grown my social media following. I'm now going all in on YouTube now. I've got clients that are coming to the program. I've got a large community of people in the community. I've done the course material that's in there that could be paid, but for most people they say I should be charging for it, and I'm not. And then there's just other things that I want to put on the plate as well, right? But as I'm thinking about ADHD and what I want it to be like, and like just the roadmap of it, like I think about how many times I've put things into the journey that didn't need to come in yet, right? Just based on impulse. Like I think it's okay for me to be presented with opportunities, or to have people reach out, and for me to want to try a new idea and all this stuff. I think it's nice to have that in the journey, right? Like this is this linear, boring, like, yep, just gonna keep doing this, like this same thing over and over again, just keep rinsing and repeating until I'm a millionaire. Like there is some part of that just has to happen, right? So that's going to be repeatable things I'm going to have to do, and I'm going to succeed because I just get really good at doing that until I'm bored, right? And for ADHD, that is the reality is that that's a part of the growth. And unfortunately, that's why we end up jumping ship and going to the shiny objects, right? But what I'm noticing is that the shiny objects that we go to, I'm realizing now it's not worth it. I'm just realizing it's not worth me jumping ship and going for that, just for that hit, that fix. Just like I see alcohol now. It's like I don't see alcohol as worth it for me to have that week of trying to recover from the hangovers and my body in the way that I'm as sluggish afterwards after drinking. Like that going out for the night out, drinking, yeah, that's amazing. It's not worth it for the consequences after. And like that's what I'm seeing this as, is like a shiny object, there's a consequence. And it's the same as alcohol. It's the same as eating cookies every single day for a year, or McDonald's every single day for a year, right? So I'm just noticing that, like, seeing this through, the goal that I have for ADHD, seeing it through to the exact thing that I've said that I want for the brand, and just sticking with that and living within my means, and not trying to go too far ahead in the journey, like just doing where I'm at now. So like everyone I'm working with now is the most important, like they're the main priority right now, right? And then there's all these other ideas that can come in and help the journey in some way. They're going to get introduced, a little bit, but it's like it doesn't have to steer me completely off course, right? And that's what I'm seeing, is that like where there's been a lot of things that have just taken me completely off course, and then I felt like I needed to come in and say, set limits or boundaries, or just say, wait, does this really fit the map? Does this fit the roadmap or not? It doesn't. Like to drive this home, I want to share with you someone that inspires me massively is Sam Ovens from school, right? And one of my mentors, Andrew, who's next to him basically almost every single day, right, in the school office, mentioned about how he operates and how he prioritizes things. And if you notice that every week on the school news, he tells us about how things are going on the roadmap, right, for school. Okay, yep, this is a new feature. Like, we spent about 3 months on this feature, and now finally here. They're not juggling 100 features at once. And yeah, maybe there's people that are still working on things to progress for that launch of that thing, but they're looking at what is the thing that we should definitely prioritize over the others, right? And there's a roadmap, there's a very crystal clear, like, priority for things. There's hundreds of things that can improve about school, but he's looking at the main things that we should put first and ship, and then we move on to the next thing, and then we move on to the next thing. And I just feel like moving forward, that's just kind of what's inspiring me right now. It's just to like just let go of anything that doesn't fit what moves the needle forward, specifically for me to do the things I'm supposed to be doing right now. If there's something that supports it and helps me to do it, I'm going to put my money and invest into that heavily. But yeah, that's my thought for today.